because it's a lot about more on the functional medicine side, and talk about hormones. Yeah, we start with hormones and how the different hormones impact our health. All right. Now, of course, there are hormones that impact not just our brain, our joints, our reproductive system, everything, but more importantly, oh, I don't know why okay. There are also hormones that affect our mood, anxiety, and stress response, right? So someone mentioned about our nervous system, the vagus nerve, everything is so interrelated, and it's so amazing, that sometimes I feel that 1 hour is not enough to cover any topic and altogether, but this is kind of like, at least we get a conversation going, and then we can always do more detailed sessions. But this is just like touching on the surface. Some of the hormones that affect weight gain, some of you may know it already, like estrogen, thyroid deficiency, and of course, vitamin D, which is a huge thing, right? I shared into the group last week the type of blood panels we should take to really determine whether those imbalances. I'm going to resend it again later for the group today, so you can refer to that later. Yeah, but these are just some of the common hormones that links to weight gain. But today, I want to focus more on the composition. It's not so much about losing weight per se. A lot of people are like, oh, my ideal weight is like, I need to lose another 10 kilograms, or I need to lose another 5 kilograms. But it's not so much about the weight, it's about the composition. How much fat versus how much muscle, right? So we need to understand the connection between muscle, fat, and longevity. So first of all, the first secret or first tip I want to give you is the organ of longevity is our muscle. Is our muscle, right? Now, if you want to remember this better, type muscle in the chat. I assure you, you will remember this a bit better than just listening to me. Remember the 10-24/7 and also the cone of learning. When we practice sharing and outputting information, it helps us with our brain to retain the information. So muscle is metabolic gold. It burns calories. It helps us regulate our blood sugar. All right, and then there's also direct correlation in terms of our health span for muscle and for fat. Because fat raises, we already know this, right? Fat raises risk of all sorts of chronic diseases, but some of us are not aware that muscle actually also a direct impact on longevity and our health span. So it's kind of like a longevity lever. We build and maintain muscles not just to look good, right? It helps us to support our body structure, our bone health, our balance. That's why for some of us, some of you are like, I'm going to show off a little bit here, right? So some of us like, there's also a test you see sometimes on Instagram about how people, whether if they can do things like this and close their eyes, and how long they can remain, for example. It's all of this depends on not all of this, I mean a big part of it depends not just on your yoga practice, but more of your muscle. If you do not have strong muscles, you can't do this. Yeah, because this keeps mobility, this keeps us being able to help us with balance and being mobile and independent, strong and flexible as we age. Follow me so far? Give me a thumbs up again, or 2 thumbs up. Thank you, right? So the bottom line is more muscle, less fat equals stronger, healthier life. Yeah? Okay? Oh, Stella's doing some stretching. Thank you for the reminder. All right. Now, I'm going to take a bit of a pause right now for myself because I want to bring on Dr. Shireen now. Uh, Shireen's, like I said, my sister from another mother. I learned so much. I'm so grateful that sometimes I'm so touched, and like right now I'm so quite moved that she supported me on Sunday and then she's back again despite a crazy busy schedule. Thank you, sister. But it's now your stage time. I've invited Shireen today to talk a little bit more about AKG and how that can support us from losing muscle mass, which is a very common problem for women, or not just women, for people above 40s, right? So, Dr. Shireen, are you ready? Can I pass it to
Yes,
you?
anytime.
All right. Yes, Dr. Shireen, let's give her a big hand.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Shireen here. Okay, nice to meet you all here. Okay, I'll try my best to explain what is AKG in a very simple layman term, because I do have feedback saying that, Doctor, I don't understand your scientific word. Can you put it more layman? So I try my best. Yeah. Okay, so actually, what is AKG? The full term, the full name of it is all called alpha-ketoglutarate. Have you all heard of AKG before? If yes, can you raise your hand? No, it's all right. No. All right, fine. Have you all heard of NMN or NAD plus? Yes, raise your hand. No. All right. These few things that I mentioned is actually the discovery for longevity gene. All right. Today I'm going to purely talk about AKG, not NMN or NAD plus. Okay. All right. So everybody has AKG in the body. It's a molecule naturally occurring in our body. So where it is in our body, okay. So I move one step forward, like what Patrick has says. Muscle is actually our longevity organ. All right. So, what is the basic structure of an organ? So, it's the cell, right? Human body, we have 37 trillion cells. It's complicated, but you just have to remember that so much of cells in the body, and we have 200 different types of cell, and these 200 different kind of cell will form organs like muscle, brain, heart, etc. Okay, so this basic structure, this cell, it does has a powerhouse in it. All right, it's just like our house powerhouse, right? It generate energy. So what does this energy do? All right, this energy give you the ability to think, to talk, to breathe, to move. This is the basic physiology of our body. People might be thinking, how can I talk because of the link of the brain and the mouth, right? But you need energy in your cell to do the work. Okay, so AKG is actually helping in this cycle we call Krebs cycle to produce energy. Yeah. Okay, so it's also it's actually discovered in the 80s and 90s, not recent thing. It's actually very long time ago. Okay, all right. And those who start hit 40 years old or 50, your AKG in the body drastically goes down by 10 times. Okay, that's why there is also studies saying that once you hit 40, your muscle mass starts to go down, what we call sarcopenia. That means losing a muscle. All right. That's why when you hit 40, 50, you feel like your muscles not strong, fats building up, hormonal imbalance, sleep disturb, easily stressed, things like that. Okay. All right. The other thing is slow metabolism. Okay. Definitely, it will bring down your metabolism. That's why you feel like you don't eat, you breathe. Also, you put on weight in certain people. Yeah. Okay, so that is AKG. All right. So once the AKG is depleted in the cycle, you know what's happened. Understand, right? Am I too scientific? Good. Thumbs up, everybody. Okay, especially ladies, we need a lot of AKGs. Okay, we don't need fat, we need muscle. Okay, all right. So the other thing about AKG in anti-aging benefits, all right, put it in simpler words, it also has these functions of cleaning and fixing. All right, if a house is very dirty, you clean it, right? Same does the body. where aging was recognized as a disease. Why is it so? Is because the body cell get inflamed. There's another word called inflammaging. I'm not sure whether you heard of it or not. Okay, so once it's inflamed, meaning that that's a lot of old cells, senescent cells in the body. And this cell's supposed to turn around in certain period of time. Example, for your red blood cells is 120 days, but some doesn't go off, some just doesn't die off, right? So AKG helps to fix it. Hey, come on, it's time for you to go means you have to go. All right, it cleans out all these senescent cells, old cells, and inflammation cells. So in other words, it has anti-inflammatory effects. Yeah. Okay. So once cleaning done, all right. So the next job is fixing. So what does it fix? All right. Hormone imbalance. Okay. Not only reproductive hormone, your male or female hormone, it also fixes your cortisol so that your brain gets clearer, your minds get clearer, more stabilized. And also most important thing, it increases our growth hormone, which is the hormone which is crucial for our muscle. Okay, so this is the hormonal part. The other part is it acts as a switch as well to turn on and turn off those good genes and bad genes. Example, those who fasting calorie restriction, right? What it does is actually not giving food to the body so that the body will go through healing or slimming or things like that. Without you doing so, AKG are able to turn on the calorie restriction switch. That's why it brings a lot of weight loss effect in it. Okay, it's sort of like kill off all those fat cells, those stubborn fat cells. Okay, all right. One, two, three, and the last but not least, it also has antioxidant effect, which is the anti-inflammation. Okay, all right. The other thing, the last but the not thing is it most important thing is those who has exercised regularly. If you are on AKG, all right, your muscle mass improves very, very fast. Okay, all right. There's also study shows that 6 months to 7 months of consumption are able to reverse your cell age by 8 years. All right, I don't do the studies, but this is the studies that they've done. Okay, basically, like what Patrick mentioned, for the past 1 month, I lose 10 kg with the help of AKG and exercise, of course. Okay, all right. Am I clear? Am I clear? Good. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Perhaps any question? Any one of you have any question you would like to know? You can type in the chat box.
Right. Dr. Shireen, are you
Mhm.
okay to stay with us for another 20 minutes or so?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. If you can, then I would like to perhaps finish up the session first, and then we
Ah,
leave the questions to the end.
okay.
We're good?
Sure. No
Yeah.
problem. Good.
So
Very good. Very good.
what we can do is then those of you who have questions, just type it in the chat box first so that we can curate those questions, and then we can see what we can then perhaps group them together, and then just so Dr. Shireen has a bit of time to also prepare those answers. And we may not be able to answer everything, but we'll do our best to answer as many as we can as you type those questions in the chat box while I continue. We good? Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Shireen. Right. There will be a bit of stage time for Sue as well later on. I'm just mindful of time because it's now 5 to 11. I'm aiming to finish in about 20 minutes time, but let's not go too fast as well. Yeah, let's honor the time that everyone has come together. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to now continue the workshop, and this slide basically kind of recap some of the things Dr. Shireen has talked about. In fact, I've already typed it into our chat, so you can take a look later. I won't repeat myself. One of the things that I wanted to confirm with Dr. Shireen, I think she did, was that a lot of people ask us how much and how to use, right? So usually in the morning, 1000 mg, and all like Dr. Shireen says, best alongside exercise nutrition. But that said, remember, it is not a magic pill. Yeah, it is synergistic with anti-aging lifestyle, right? So exercise and of course help distressing. Look for VG and Shivani, myself, if you want to distress and reconnect your mind, body, and spirit, right? And I just want to just finish off my section of the workshop by just sharing with you the good news that we can actually counter the slowing down, the so-called slowing down, the natural slowdown that we are facing when we hit our 40s and above, because we know metabolism slows down 1 to 2% per decade after young adulthood. Our muscle mass loses 3 to 8% every decade after 30, right? But there is a possibility to slow it down. And one of the ways is, of course, doing weights is important, not necessarily as in going to the gym with weights, but body weight training is really powerful. I haven't been to the gym for, maybe I go to the gym once in 2 weeks or once a week, but generally every day I do push-ups and I do various body weight training, like they call them calisthenics, right? I can even do them now as I talk to you, right? So body weight training is really powerful. Plus, the combination of some cellular nutrition like AKG will help tremendously. All right. Um, Now, some of the things just to add on is someone has already asked about in the group. I saw someone asking about hypothyroidism and things like that. Um, I'm going to leave Dr. Shireen to answer that, but the other key reason why many of us have weight issues is due to various hormonal changes in our 40s. Comes to estrogen, progesterone, thyroid, cortisol, insulin. I'm not going to go in detail on this, but it basically kind of like causes a lot of imbalances because it fluctuates and falls. Hypothyroidism is really one of the key reasons why there's also weight issues for a lot of people because it's a master regulator for metabolism, right? And for many people, I just want to touch on this very briefly. With the thyroid stimulating hormone, which is very commonly tested, sometimes many of us do not test the active forms, which is T3 and T4, right? So again, when I send in the blood test panels in a group, please take a look because if there are certain signs, which is what I'm going to bring up now, if there are certain signs or your body is kind of screaming or there's some red flags, these are some of the red flags, right? You experience some brain fog, or you get irritable easily, you find that you get tired easily, or maybe you even like fall asleep after dinner on the couch, then there's a lot of issues with weight. All these are the clues or your body screaming for attention. So do not wait until it gets really bad before you see a doctor. So then a functional medicine test would be extremely important to determine what are the what I call imbalances in your body and how you can then seek help from functional medicine or anti-aging medicine doctors like Dr. Shireen. Yeah, just a bit of I won't call it selling, but just letting you know for those of us who are keen or who would like to learn more from Dr. Shireen or get a consultation, it is possible to organize online consultations. In fact, we have one coming up later this morning, scheduled for one of our members and her husband. All right. I also want to briefly mention the importance of the gut hormone connection. Someone again mentioned the vagus nerve. So yes, the gut is extremely important, and whatever supplements we're taking is really important to really take care of our gut. If our gut is not in condition, there's no way that the absorption is going to be there. And plus, it plays a critical role in regulating our hormones. In fact, it's the largest endocrine organ that releases GLP-1. All right. In fact, at this point, right, I wanted to, if it's possible, because I think this is really powerful. We didn't manage to cover this on Sunday because I said it was quite chaotic. Dr. Shireen, can you just briefly tell us, please do not need to put in that amount of time as we did for AKG. Can you just tell us briefly about what GLP does? Because that is also something that's very powerful and how we can then look into managing our weight. Dr. Shereen, on GLP-1? Oh, did Dr. Shereen step away? Oh, she's there. Okay.
Yeah. I'm here. Yeah. Okay. GLP-1. All right. Full name of it is actually glucagon-like peptide. Okay. So it's a kind of hormone in our body where it produces mostly from our intestine after food. Okay. So this discovery is actually for diabetic research initially. Why is it so? What's the function of it? Actually, it gives you that feeling of signaling that you are full, satiety feeling. So those who are on GLP-1, they tend to feel full faster and longer as well. All right, because it slow down your digestion, that process. Okay. Besides that, it also improves our insulin resistance. Okay. And then insulin is only released when it is needed. If not, means it will be stored and not floating in your vessels. Okay. The other thing is also, of course, it target belly fats. It breaks down the belly fats, the stubborn fat as well. Okay. So in anti-aging and cellular perspective, it's also act as an anti-inflammation kind of peptides. Peptide means it's a protein or amino acids, you see? Okay. So overall, it controls our hunger pang, our satiety control, and then it gives more energy, and then it also releases our insulin when if it is needed. Okay. I think brief enough, short enough.
Yes. Thank you very much, Dr. Shereen. Yeah.
Okay.
Those of us who are interested, I can send you this slide as well. Just PM me or just let me know if you want like specific information about GLP-1. What is it? Why it matters after 40? And there are also what I call artificial or chemical medications equivalent to GLP-1 like Ozempic. Some of us may have heard people take Ozempic injections. And the Okay. Am I allowed to comment about it? I can, right? Because I'm not a doctor, Dr. Shiri. I mean, the thing, we need to know the consequences of taking Ozempic because at the end of the day, once you stop Ozempic, the weight of a person can rebound back easily. And there are doctors who really can't answer you when you ask them, oh, so doctor, once I got an Ozempic, does it mean that once it stopped, what will happen? Or do I need to take it forever? So that is something that we need to be conscious of when we take this sort of chemical alternatives to what our body is supposed to be producing. So GLP-1 is basically something that, again, like AKG, is also something that is diminishing and kind of becoming less in our body. So it's possible to supplement it back again. And it is something that Sue in fact has taken for the last. So can you share with us how long have you taken GLP-1 and how do you feel? I mean, because there are different reactions when you take GLP-1. Like how do you work for you?
Is my mic on? Is my screen on as well? Because I
Yes.
can't see myself.
we can see you.
Okay. I've been taken GLP 1.5 months. As what Dr. Shereen said that is I feel full easily and I have more energy because I do take GLP-1 with AKG and I do exercise as well. So based on my BCA means my weight comparison of my muscle and my fat, although that my weight do not lose a bit, but my muscle mass increase and my fat percentage decrease. So that is something that I love about it. Yeah. So
Sorry,
anything
your
else?
fat percentage went down or went up? Sorry.
Went down.
Okay. Now, so just wanted to check with you, because I know you used to do intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
How did it affect you? Like, because I remember when you first started taking it, you had, I don't know, what sort of experience was it like? Did it make you feel different?
In fact, Dr. Shereen was a bit concerned for me for maybe having some when I first took it because I took it like much before because I fast for 16 hours normally. So my first break, my first meal of the day normally is about 12 o'clock. So in order to make it easier, so normally I will take my GLP-1 in the morning. So I will feel a bit of hypo actually. So now I'm aware of it. So I take it like 1 hour before my meal. So that's all right. I feel much better now. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what my experience. And one more thing is actually I go to toilets for pass motion much easier now.
Oh,
Although that
okay.
I don't have problem with that, but now is I can feel, you can feel that it's easier and yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sue, for sharing. All right.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I asked that question was the importance of knowing your own body. And again, remember, I'm purposely doing this, our 10-24/7 rule method of learning is review what we learned just now earlier about where we are at. Everyone is different place, different time in terms of our body, and don't just take exactly what we learn or hear from, whether it's from Patrick or from doctor, and then just apply it in your life. No, everyone's body is different, and hence you need, in a way, personalized advice before you take any supplementation. That's what I wanted to come across. Thank you, Sue, again. All right, I think I'm nearing the end of my session. I just wanted to add on a little bit, two more slides, which is basically the fact that at the end of the day, to turn our health span around in terms of summary is it's not just about supplements, it's about our habits, it's about supplements, it's about mindset. So hence combining strength training, like I said, 2 to 3 times a week, knowing how much protein to take, because if you're taking AKG, you're not taking any protein, it's not going to work as well, I think, right? And then of course the lifestyle habits like sleep and managing stress. Again, I'm a big supporter of VG's work. Check out her mandala work and how amazing it is to help people relieve stress, to lower cortisol. But there are also other simple things like just walking, right? Walking, journaling, meditation. Do what works for you. You know your body best, yeah? And of course, these are some of the other smart supplements to look at. Have your vitamin D checked. If it's deficit, actually it's going to be a major issue as well, because it's just very hard for your body to build a muscle. So you can be taking a lot of AKG, but you don't have enough vitamin D, it's not going to work for you either, right? So because AKG is basically cellular food, cellular regeneration, vitality, but we need to give it the fundamentals too in terms of vitamin D, yeah? Mindset is everything. We all know this, right? And last but not least, I just want to summarize that the key takeaway is this: hormonal changes are normal for those of us, for all of us who are above 40s here. And it makes weight management tricky, of course. But the thing is, it can be adjusted. We can work with our changing biology by adjusting how we move, what we eat, how we manage our stress. And of course, again, I want to emphasize the importance of testing your hormones, right? To find out, especially those 4 hormones, finding out your vitamin D, whether they are deficit, and this will help us better extend our health span. All right. So I think with that, I am pretty much wrapped up for today's session.